Last class, I had it fully sold out, yet I only had 4 of you in there.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
sometimes
it
that
possible?
happens in the evening. I think what happens is people book it and then for some reason they can't make it.
Is it possible to see how many guys are booked and who is?
Oh, I can, yes. Like I can see, for example, this class here, I think was sold out at the last minute. Let me take a look. Um, yeah, it's fully sold out. So there's 9 slots fully sold out, but I had 10 reservations. So there's more demand than availability.
All right.
So that's why whenever I say I've got classes coming up and there's only a few seats left, then you need to watch out for that.
Is it possible just 9 students to join the class, or is it possible more than 9 students? Because there are not enough space for everybody.
Just 9, that's it. So this one is fully sold out. The one I have tomorrow, I've only got 4 reservations right now. And then on Saturday, I have 2 classes with 5 reservations.
Hmm.
So
I'll be there on Friday and Saturday.
Saturday, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll sell out quickly. So if you don't have a reservation, I would get it for Saturday.
Yes.
See, you're the only one here, and it's fully sold out, right? So it's strange.
That's normal for me. It's better, no, because since I'm alone, just me is who's gonna speak.
Well, I think generally it works better for you if you have at least another person because then you have somebody else to
Yeah,
add to the conversation.
to to balance the conversation. What about Sunday? Are you gonna teach on Sunday?
I don't know. I might take Sunday off. I'm not sure yet.
Teach one class at least, please. Sunday is good to have class, to attend class.
Well, I might do it then. Remind me Saturday morning.
Yeah, if you don't forget, I remind you, because it's getting hard to remember some things to do, tasks.
I hear you. All right, Edson. Looks like we're filling up here. Ruxia, welcome back.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
very
Simon.
welcome. And Francisco, welcome.
Hi, teacher.
Good to see you last night. Good to see you back with us tonight.
Thank you.
Well, guys, why don't we just go ahead and get started? So, just to recap, what am I looking for in this class? Well, I'm going to show you an image. And then I want you to tell me what you think. What comes to mind? How does the image make you feel? So that's what I want you to focus on for this next round is when you look at the image that I have up here, or any other image, how do you feel? Okay? I'm going to give you each of you 2 minutes, and I'm going to start with Edson. So Edson, when I show you this image, tell me, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel very peaceful, like comfortable in a good situation, just see the nature, trees, and also I can, depends on the tree, it's possible to eat some fruits. And just a place with just fresh water and some fruits and some foods to eat is there is no better place to be there. And some companies like play some guitar and with friends, it makes me feel comfortable as well, because music and nature in combination, it's a good relation for me. it's a good moment to be there and join the group of the friends and play some songs.
Okay, terrific. You only used up a minute, but so well said. So for Edson, these are some of the points I noted. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we have Francisco. Francisco, how do you feel when you see this image?
And yes, I feel like almost the same. I feel tranquility, peace, calm. I think, well, this picture is very interesting because, well, it shows a lot of nature, trees, and there are some things on the ground, maybe a grass or some leaves from the trees. So I can see nature. Um, well, there are a lot of light in the photo in the picture.
And how does that make you feel, seeing the nature, seeing the light?
Yeah, most of the time I think I feel the nature. The trees are healthy. I think it's a healthy country or a healthy site somewhere in the world. Uh, there's a tree which was maybe broken or maybe it has I don't know a kind of deformation or it was burnt because it's small. There are two trees like those that I'm describing, but most of them are healthy nature. Uh, there are a lot of things there maybe there are a lot of life too, but we can see them directly. It reminds me the forest in Mexico, maybe talking about the forest in near to Cancun, near to other states here, and I think it's pretty.
Thank you very much, Francisco. So yeah, you're right, very similar to Edson. Okay, next, Giancarlo, you see that image on my view screen?
Oh, yes,
I'm
yes,
going to give you
teacher.
2 minutes, and what I want you to do is I want you to tell me how you feel when you see this image.
Mm, I feel totally relaxed and I feel totally happy. Mm, eh, yeah, in general, relaxed and happy because being among nature is a beautiful thing. Um, as my partner mentioned, in Mexico there are many, many, many different sites or spots similar to this one, green areas all the time and all over Mexico. But answering to your question, Simon, I feel relaxed, happy, and sensitive, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think one of the words you were looking for there was self-reflective,
Self-reflective.
or
Okay.
reflecting, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Good. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Awesome. All right, next, Rexia. Um, Same to you. You can have as much as 2 minutes, and I want you to tell me how you feel when you see this image.
So actually, I don't have much feeling, but it reminds me to a place I lived for a long time, in Baltimore, in the suburb of Baltimore. Of course, not the downtown of Baltimore. And yeah, it's actually um, it's I just lived there for a long time, and the whole apartment is surrounded by trees, just all like the trees like this. And when I driving into the community, it's just like this.
And how
So
does that make you feel when you see this kind of environment?
it's just relaxing and very peaceful. It just very comfortable. very relaxing. But now when I see this, I kind of have a feeling of feeling how time flies. It's been almost 10 years, not maybe, yeah, so 2015, yeah, almost 10 years. So I just feel like time flies.
It certainly does.
I think it's a feeling of how is it not how to pronounce that word? No, it's not. I shouldn't say that because it's not my hometown. But it just but it just you think of things happen in the past and also when you're young, so
Okay.
feel
Rejuvenated.
no, not rejuvenated. I suddenly couldn't type in the chat box, so it's MO. Let me type it later. It just I feel that all the good old times are gone now. Yeah.
It's all hard work now.
No, it's not all hard work. It's just time flies. That's like when I was young, but now I'm not that young any longer.
Okay. Thank you, Roxia. I'm going to go to David next before we go on to the next round. David, same to you. Look at this image. How do you feel? Close your eyes if you have to. We can't hear you, David. Maybe David's having technical problems. I can't hear David, so I'm going to go on to the next image. David, you might just want to log off, log on again. All right. No, that's not it. Now, you're going to think this image looks very similar. It's similar, but it's different. Okay, so I'm going to start with Edson. Edson, same question to you this time. How do you feel when you look at this image? It's a little different.
I feel in a very difficult situation, because to be in a forest alone, for example, is a kind of danger, because you may see snakes and another animals that can damage you, can destroy your life. I don't know, and yes, you need to survive in such environment. You need to know how to hunt, and what animal you need to hunt, and what kind of tree, no, not if there's a kind of fruit to eat, and if there is water, because for sure there will be a place to drink water, but you need to make yourself security, because you can get lost in such place, and you may be attacked for animals. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. David.
Can you hear me now?
I can. And David, since you missed your last turn, I'm going to ask you to do both images in this turn with 2 minutes. So the first image, David, you remember the first image?
Yes, I remember the first image.
How did you feel?
It brings me back to the time when I was living in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and during the summertime or maybe the fall, we would like to, usually the summertime, my friends and I would like to go down this path, like a hiking path by the lakes. So brings back good memories, friendship, nature, and also sports. Because when you have this kind of weather, you want to take advantage of it because you know that winter is coming soon, and you will be indoors most of the time. So yeah, I like to be in touch with nature and with friends and doing also activities together,
And
making
now,
memories.
and now this image.
This one over here is more like it's like the rapture is coming. You know, it's like one of those. That's one of the pictures that you see, maybe, or the idea that we have about religious beliefs. You know, that's the sky's gonna open up and
End of the
that's gonna,
world.
yeah, or maybe not the end of the world. Maybe it's the a good beginning. Maybe you know that's the image that I have when a saint start talking with God. So God, you know, the sky opens up and then a nice voice talking to you about the future. It's like when God was talking with Noah and telling you know you need to build this big boat and everything. So that's the idea that I have. It's very religious. It's very kind of poetic too, in a way. You know, also would be a good place to go for a date, for example, romantic, I guess.
All
You know,
right.
yeah.
Thank you.
So
Time's up. Perfect. That's awesome. All right. Next up is, I think, Francisco. Let's see. Yep, it's up Francisco next. Francisco,
Yes,
how do you feel when you see this image? A little different from the last one.
yes, it's a little different, but I think it's a beautiful sight. It reminds me here in Mexico too, the mountain range. There are a lot of trees or tall trees. And this photo has an interesting view because maybe we are blessed to have this kind of nature, um, trees, the sun covering all the trees. And there's a path, yeah, maybe there's a path. These forests or these trees were invaded for men. Men are making roads through them.
Where's
Uh,
the path going?
Sorry?
Where is the path going?
Well, maybe that path, I don't know, maybe it could be a hiking path because it's narrow. Um it's a flat surface, so there aren't tire tracks or something like that. So I think this road is used for most of the time for maybe for hiking, running, trottling. Some people maybe they use it. Um, but here it's a splendid sight. Um, I think it's beautiful this picture.
Giancarlo, same question to you.
Well, the picture is totally interesting because, on one hand, the green areas contrast with the rays of light. On the other hand, the picture represents mystery for me. I would like to be there in order to know more about the place and in order to discover the more green areas and what is behind the trees, what is behind this green area. I would like to be there in order to breathe the marvelous air that maybe there is there in the picture. I would like to be there in order to just to feel the, the environment, the green areas. So for me in general, it's a mysterious picture because there must be something more interesting behind the trees to discover.
Well done. Thank you. I love how creative you guys are getting. Ruxia, it's your turn. Oh, I lost my timer. So Ruxia, same thing to you.
It reminds me actually. What is the music? Ambulance. Secret Garden. Um, there might be some picture like this. Again, it's like I go to this like I seen this like in my real life, pretty similar to like this, just like a hiking like trailway in the morning, just like this. And also it's also remind me the place I live in, or although the road is wider than this one, but the setting is pretty similar, so that's the way I always drive out. So it's a little bit wider. So I guess the picture, it just I feel there's not much danger or whatever. It's just oh the maybe people think it's danger because you don't know what's happening ahead, because it's just not clear. It's not leading to an opening space. But the thing the top shows the sunlight. I feel pretty encouraging. I I would not fear, like I won't be that fearful if I go doing that, like go into that path and go inside. It's not like at night.
No, that's terrific. Excellent. Chan, you're up next.
Yeah, this picture reminds me my childhood days where I spent few years of my childhood days. It was a small city. It's covered by, surrounded by the forest, and we guys were not permitted to go there in the initially when we was child, but when we grow up, we go there in groups, and especially this particular picture reminds me uh, it's almost like same like there was a place called Deer Forest. It was 5 miles away from our house, and we used to go there for jogging uh, in the early morning. But when around 7:30 or 8, sun rays a little high, and sunlight, strong sunlight come out, and the picture is exactly the same. So it's immediately when I saw it, I can recall the memories.
How does it make you feel, though?
It's uh, right now, if you ask me, it will make me very calm. But that time, it's not about the calm or something. That time it was very exciting moment for me because we, in early teenage, we are just feeling like enjoying our freedoms. But when I look back, it makes me very calm.
Excellent. Well done. Well, you guys are probably wondering why I'm doing so much writing today. Well, I'm trying something a little different. I read something many years ago. It's a very simple thing. It's kind of like telling a fortune. And each of these images represents something. So that's why I'm asking you to tell me what you think when you see it, because then I'm going to we'll do one more, and then I'll go back and tell you what some of these things are supposed to mean. So it's quite interesting. It's funny. It's not meant to be serious or anything, so I'm not a psychologist trying to delve into your mind. It's nothing like that at all. Okay, next, you're going to see there's a lot of, you're going to see that these are somewhat related, but they're really not. Let's get the next one up. I'll start with David. David, what comes to mind when you see this? Sorry, not what comes to mind. How do you feel when you see this?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. What do I feel? I feel like this is a field. Well, it looks like a spring is coming up, and so life is back, and it's the end of the school year. The beginning of summer is coming up. Plans to time to travel, to meet friends, to forget about work and relax, enjoy nature or family or new cultures, new experiences. I think that's what it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. The green and the flowers, blooming, and I think it's like a new beginning. You know, life is back, and for me, it's like a psychological new beginning to do new things, experience new things, and pursue happiness, pursue things that you haven't never done before, I guess, or probably continue doing things that you usually do at this time of the year. So yeah, I think it's and also it's so, look at the I mean the colors are so amazingly combined, the green, the purples.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay,
Well done, David. Thank you.
thanks.
Francisco.
Well, this image for me is like heaven because well, spring well, the nature is alive. There are a lot of trees, flowers of different colors, and lots of green. And yeah, this picture makes me happy and emotional. Um, Too, it reminds me when I was a child that we used to go to the fields and run through them. Well, it has a lot of reminds to me. Um, mm, this is nature. This is colorful, and the trees are tall too. They show that they are happy. Maybe well, they are happy and they are healthy, and there are a lot of life in this picture.
Right. Thank you very much. Giancarlo.
Okay. Talking about this picture, I would like to mention that it represents life, of course, but it represents a process because life is a process. Imagine that these flowers, maybe some weeks ago or months ago, maybe, they were just seeds. Sometimes we tend to remember just the present, or maybe the past, or maybe the future. But in general, I would like to say that, and I learned it some months ago, that life is a a total process. This process contains different moments, contains experiences, contain bad moments, good moments, memories, bad memories, good memories. But in general, we need to we need to wait the right time to do the things that you want to do. Um, this picture represents that life is a gift for all of us, and of course, it represents that life is a beginning, but it is also an ending. These plants, these flowers, someday they will die. And it's difficult to think about it because you can see them and you may say, oh, they are beautiful, they are going to live forever, but they are not. Someday they are going to die because I want to repeat it again that life is a process. It's a beautiful picture. I love it, and in this moment, I like to be there, just smelling all of these flowers.
Okay. Thank you so much for that vivid
Thank you.
description.
Thank you.
Rexia.
So first when I see the picture, it reminds me some like botanic gardens. Is that pronounced as botanic gardens?
No. Now it's funny the way you've said it. I can't remember how to say it now.
Okay,
I'm
anyway,
thinking of the word botany, and that's not the word I'm looking for.
okay, but yeah, so yeah, there's a big botanic garden in Chicago suburb. We used to go there several times, and it just reminds me there. Even though there's also garden here, but we have never like in Queens, but we never go. But I feel weird because you see all those flowers. It's more likely spring, but the trees are actually starting to have some. I'm not sure it's some yellow leaf or it's a green leaf. So I'm assuming it's a little bit like a green leaf starting to sprout, or what's wrong? Otherwise, yeah, it's just there's a contrast between the growth of the flower versus the tree, because the trees are almost no leaf, like it's just empty. What's the right word to say? It's not. It's. I shouldn't say empty. It's just
Barren.
what? Bald.
I'd say barren. They're barren of life.
Oh, barren. Okay, barren. Okay, thank you. So I'm not sure what's the season of this year, but you see the sunlight. Yeah, it's difficult to say. But the flower actually, it's not. I don't think it's in a garden, because it looks like it's all over. And it's a big field, and no one had done any modification. It's more likely a wild environment.
Thank you. I got to stop you because your time is up. Thank you so much. And last, Shan.
Yeah, it's a very interesting picture. Like, looking at this picture, your mood will come alive. Like, look at the sunlight and the colors. Everybody, whosoever just looking at this picture, their mood will be in very good mood. I can remember in my younger days, when I first got my camera, I always just running around the areas and trying to capture all those colors. I was too busy. But when I just uh, got mature or a little older, now if I got this kind of situation, I would prefer to just first engross the beauty of nature, and then I'll sit there, and then if I have time, then I'll try to go to take some pictures. And this kind of natural beauty will just calm down your mind, and you will be a little bit thoughtless, and you'll be amazed like how a nature can bring you in the meditative mode. So it's a fantastic picture.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit. First of all, let's go back to the previous image. What's the one I started with? It was this one here. Okay, so now this is a little different, because normally the way I would have done this is I would have asked you, I would have told you, and I got you ready, and I said, okay, I'm going to tell you something, and immediately I want you to describe it to every detail you can. Whatever pops in your head when I say this. Well, unfortunately, I've had to show you an image which kind of changes that. But it'll still be fun. So what this image is supposed to represent is life. And how you describe it, or how you read this image, kind of describes how you see life. So I want to go back to some of the... So Edson, he's no longer here, but he described the trees, peaceful, fruit, life-sustaining, be with friends, be comfortable, which would kind of indicate that Edson has a sort of a very relaxed attitude towards life. He looks, he wants to lead a peaceful life. He generally leads a peaceful life. And he looks for the positive in things. And of course, he doesn't, it would indicate that he doesn't have any problems with life-sustaining or food or anything like that. And Francisco is very similar, only he brought up a few other things. Healthy, right? Again, the peace, the calm, tranquility. This is kind of the way Francisco would like to live, according to how I'd kind of read into this, right? So you're talking about life and peaceful, calm, tranquility, and living a healthy, natural life. And Giancarlo said, totally relaxed, happy. Ruxia said, relaxing, peaceful. You've also got this similar view on life. But life is anything but that. Okay. When we looked at the next image, this is where it got really strange, because the next image is very, very similar to the first one. I mean, we've got trees, right? We've got a forest. The only difference here is the lighting, and there's a path. And in fact, there's more light in this one than in the other one. Yet many of you came out and described it as foreboding. And this image with the path in it represents our journey through life. So Edson said, well, difficult, it's dangerous, it's fraught with snakes and things that can damage you, and you've got to be there to survive, know how to hunt, what to eat, but you're looking for water. So if you were to read into this, then you would say, okay, well, as Edson's going through life, he sees dangers everywhere. There's always, someone can always hurt you and harm you. There's always ways to lose what you've got. You want to live a peaceful, calm, tranquil life, but you got to be careful, because life isn't always that way. You can get lost. So pay attention, right? And David, what did you say? Do you remember what you said?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir. Do you remember what you said?
I think the idea is, this picture I can see in one of those magazines that you have a witness try to push on you, on Sunday morning. So it's like
yes.
you have a witness.
Watchtower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that you see is like a connection with God and the spiritual, or maybe there's a pathway to the next level, whatever that is. So I think for me it's more like a religious connotation to this one over here. But I do appreciate also the beauty. Also I said maybe it could be also a romantic place for a date, if you have a date.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of nature, love, spirituality. So it's like a combination, it's like a combo of emotions and feelings and sensations, I guess.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned the religious many times, which would almost have me believe that you're a very religious person and you look for a spiritual meaning in life or spiritual direction in life, which is what I would, if I was to read into it from what you wrote.
So, you might be right. I might be.
I don't know, but that's what it's saying, because you look at yours and Edson saw the dangers and the fears. You just see, you know what? I see this image here, but you're all about healthy living. You're gonna enjoy, suck the marrow out of life, get out there, make friends, enjoy nature, just live life.
Right. Yeah, that's what it's about, because as you mentioned before, life is gonna throw at you good things and bad things. I mean that if he only throws you, so if life only throws at you good things, then will be paradise. But this is not paradise. This is life. So you have to, how you handle the situation is just going to be pivotal moment for you in the future.
Excellent. And for Francisco, you described it as beautiful sight, mountains, trees close by. Do you remember your description?
Well, not really, teacher. I remember well, but it's an amazing it's an amazing image. Yeah. I remember that. Well, it has a path, and maybe it takes to somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little mystery. Yeah.
So what I would do, Francisco, then is based on that, the path representing your journey through life is, you have a good idea of how your life is laid out in your mind, what you want to do, where you want to go. You definitely see some challenges in the distance, and you know that when you get there, you'll figure it out, and they won't be a problem. But you have a good vision of where you want to see your life unfold.
Yes. Okay.
So that's what we see there. So now, JC, you described rays of light, mystery, want to know what's behind the trees and the green. And you know what? Every time you said something here, all I could think of is you just want to know how things work. You want to understand how things are made, put together, how the universe works. Whatever you look at, you tend to analyze it. Am I close or completely far off?
No. You are totally close, Simon. And I would like to add something that for me is quite interesting about this picture. The composition is beautiful, but the photographer selected the path.
Yeah.
In my personal point of view, this path or every single path represents a society, represents human beings, represents communication, in fact. Why? Because imagine that people need to walk through this path in order to go here, to go there, to communicate, to meet people. Wherever we are, we need to be in contact with somebody. It doesn't matter that we are chatting or maybe just checking pics in the internet or something. But more than that, this picture represents that human beings are connected every time. And this path, if you observe the path, Simon,
Mm-hmm.
the path represents that people walked the path in order to be somewhere, or maybe some people will come through this path. So the picture seems to be very quiet, and it's very quiet, of course, it's very quiet, but the path represents that people have been here in this picture.
Okay.
And it's great because there is another connotation when there is a path in a picture. It represents life.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Giancarlo.
Yeah.
Very, very in-depth. Very deep. Ruxia, when you were talking about this, when you mentioned music, secret gardens, the botanic gardens, that's how to say it. Botanic gardens. Not danger, but not clear either, no opening. And you mentioned how some are afraid, but there's bright sunlight, so encouraging. And again, with this being the path is, some people are afraid of their journey through life. They don't know where it's going to take them. But for you, there was no fear. You kind of knew where you wanted to go. You didn't have everything planned out. You know, there were some areas where you weren't sure about, but you kind of worked at it. You kind of planned at it. That's how I would interpret what you said there.
Oh, actually, I do have a lot of fears in my life.
Okay. Well, no, and I don't ask you to, because put you on the spot with what your fears are, because that's. But if you want to share with some of them with us, you're more than welcome to.
Oh no, I don't want to share.
I didn't.
But I guess like I right now I'm in a very bad situation. So, yeah. So also I guess for me typical like my past was not smooth. So when I was in China, everyone just it's totally different. So we actually study biology, and that's the most that's a major that's the highest, like you need the highest score to get in. It's like hard to imagine nowadays, but it's
very competitive.
Yeah, it is. When that is, it's just some shit guy said like 21st century is the century for biology, and it's just totally destroyed like a generation like us, the life. So most people came here, they do PhD, postdoc, but they are stuck here, and some people try to change careers. It's totally different, but like compared to like people who go to medical school, So in China, only like middle-level people go to medical school, but now they can just take boards. So it's just all these are like I think life is something not now you can control. Sometimes it's just the history, like the
Timing too,
background.
Rakia. Like for example, when you were younger in China, middle-level people become doctors. You didn't make a lot of money becoming doctors, whereas now in China, doctors make a lot of money.
No, they don't make a lot of money. That's why a lot of people just come here and do a PhD in biology, but they can take boards here and they can become doctors.
Oh, well, my wife was telling me how now she's from the north of China that she changed her education because now doctors make an awful lot of money there in China in the north.
Yeah, they make a lot of, but they make money by taking bribes because the salary is low and they're very they're very tight. The environment is totally different. I haven't seen much doctor when I was in China, but recently I went back to China in December, and I cannot bear the hospital system. They are just rude. The doctors are so rude because they don't care because they are always patients. There's just so many people in China. You don't see them, there are other people who will see them. They are not highly paid, but they take bribes. If you want to have an appointment, you have to have some connection. You have to give some bribes. So that's ridiculous. And even that, they treat you like just not a human being. That's really ridiculous.
No, it's sad. But thank you for sharing that with us. I much appreciate it. Now let's go to Shan. Shan, do you remember what you wrote?
Yeah, I shared few of my childhood memories, and at that time I was very excited. And yeah.
So great fondness for the past, and you like to hold on to those memories.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Why is it that we seem to make a lot of memories when we're young, and as we get older, we're too busy working or raising a family, and we don't have the same memories?
It's not that when you just getting older, we don't have memories, but childhood memories are very special at that
Why?
time because you are exploring the world from your eyes, and day by day you are just experiencing your lives, and you didn't have that much the kind of pressure, and you were just enjoying your childhood days. You are having fun, and yeah, kind of restrictions was there, but the excitement was to discover and enjoying your freedom. So that's why I think it was very special memory. Always will be in our mind.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to go back to David, only this time I'm going to bring up friends. It's a very deep discussion here tonight, but I don't know if you guys are noticing, you're coming up with all sorts of words to describe the things you're thinking about, and that's perfect. It's exactly what I want. So David, a very simple question to you. Friends, how important are they to you?
Vital in my life now because I live away from my family, so my friends have become my family. So now that I live in a new state, I'm trying to become, to make new friends now because I have friends, but they all live away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think friends are, sometimes friends become even more important than your family because many people might disagree with this, but you choose your friends. You cannot choose your family. If you're lucky, you happen to be born in a family that are very supportive. You have good brothers and sisters, siblings, a good father, a good mother. But sometimes that's not the case. In the case of friends, you do choose your friends, and your friends give you support, and friends are always there for you, unconditionally. Well, the good friends. I'm speaking about the good friends, not the fair weather friends, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that friends are vital in my life now.
Okay, thank you very much. Same question to you, Francisco.
Well, friends are really important in everybody's life because they are part of your life and they are like family. Sometimes they are like family. Um, when I came here to this city, well, my friends were like my family too. We spent a lot of time uh, having good times, and yeah, I have good friends since I was a child, um, from secondary or high school. Still, we gather every year and we drink some beers very often. But it's amazing to have friends.
Great, thank you. Giancarlo.
Well, friends are important because we need to socialize. So socializing is a very important aspect in um, in the human nature, and we learn from them, and they learn from us. And it's uh, it's good to learn from their experiences, good or bad experiences, and we we enrich ourselves in every single gathering. For example, it's important to share more than everything, to share not just the material stuff, but also feelings or thinking or etc. So yeah, it's friendship is interesting.
Okay, good, thank you. Roxia.
I'm actually sorry to say that I'm actually quite sad about this friend issue because since I was little, I always have friend like always like have one best friend. I guess it's probably the same for everyone, and I was always very loyal to my friendship. It's just we are very very close. I remember when I was in elementary school, I have a friend. I always like she comes to our house, sleep in our house home, like I sleep in her home, all these. And then high school, always like junior high, senior high, and even in college, I have a friendship. I have a close friend. We just eat, like we do everything together. But then after I came here for graduate school, I just feel I no longer had this kind of friendship. And in retrospect, and also even if initially I tried to contact my friends in college, but later with more like it just I have family, and also we have total different experience, and I just start losing. Like I start stopped contacting them, and I didn't make enough new friends. I guess I have some friends in the labs, all these, but I'm not a very, I don't know. I never developed any close friendship like I had when I was young.
We call
So
those single serving friends. They're people that they're friends at work or people you know when you go someplace. But you never get together outside of those places. Like you, I value good friends too, but I find that these days I really don't have the time. The one friend I seem to spend most of my time with is my wife. But outside of her, I just don't have time anymore. And that'll probably change when my son gets older, because when you retire, friends become even more important again at that point because you have more time. But yeah, it's tough because you have so many constraints on your time. Shan, same to you, my friend. Friends, what comes to mind? How important are they to you?
Uh, it's very important to me. In human life, we have a different kind of relationship, and when it comes about the friendship, it's really very important to me. And they will support you, they will accompany you, and they will not going to feel you are kind of alone or something, when you are just staying away from your relatives. And yeah, friends always just keep you just younger, and whenever you are getting touch with your friends and stay with them, they just feel you that you are much younger than your current age. It's always happened to me. And another thing I really appreciate, if you have a really good friend, uh, they will not uh, they will they they might have the different opinion and point of view, but they will not just agree with your all opinion. They will maybe concern about something, and they will just uh, correct you in few times. So yeah, overall I have a really great experience.
And I think sometimes what we do in life, the experience we have, are much better when we have friends and family close by.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Well, guys, this class got a little more deep, and that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get us to be a bit more reflective, because when you're being reflective, most of the time you're kind of forgetting about English. You're just trying to come up with the words to describe how you feel, what you're thinking about. Now I'm going to shift our focus a little bit as we're coming up to the end of the class to talk about a couple of things. Now, I did post there, I have some classes coming up. That link will show you all of my classes coming up. Tomorrow, I have a debate class. Tonight, we had a class where we talked about oil. Oil is the cheapest and best form of energy. Well, we're going to debate that topic tomorrow. We're going to debate that topic. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to focus mostly on the debate. We're not going to do as much. We won't watch the video, although I'll provide people with a link to the video if they would like. But it's to give those who want to really push their English skills further. You've got tonight, you've got tomorrow to actually come up with some opening arguments, some closing arguments, and some rebuttals. And I've got these off the internet. I'm going to give you guys some links to presentations or PDFs on how to conduct a debate, why we have a debate, and the structure of a debate. Now, unfortunately, the quality of these, the grammar, I can't speak to that, but they do have a lot of interesting viewpoints on the debate. So if you have time, get a read of these. My focus on the debate is really very simple. I'm looking for you guys to provide an opening statement and a closing statement. And in between, you'll refute what the other team says. So you'll start off by defending the debate topic, and the other team will argue against it, contradict. So the opening statement is all about introducing the topic and why you believe what you believe and some key evidence you're going to introduce. The other team will introduce the topic as to why they're against you and key information they're going to talk about that will go against that. And then those that are refuting will develop that even further. Then at the end you summarize it. And if you don't do any homework or research, that's fine too. Just know that some of the students who come to class, they seem like they really know this very, very well. It's only because they've done the extra work. So the extra work is there if you want to do it, to try harder. But this is not 100% by the rules debating. The whole purpose of this, again, is conversation to get you speaking, but it's really an advanced class because it's to get you speaking using analytical skills, right? So it's not like today's class where we just kind of, you're thinking and you're relaxing. When you're not talking in this debate class, you're writing things down, you're analyzing, you're getting ready to speak. All right, guys, any last questions? All right, then. Well, we've come to another double header tonight. Thank you for attending my class, and some of you, Ruxia and Chan, for attending both classes. I will be back tomorrow night with one class for the debate. I hope to see you guys then.
Thank you, Simon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.